Nims Azoor, welcome to the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. How are you, mate?
Going fantastic. Look, it's great to be a part of the show, and I know that you had to get the third most popular host off the driver's seat. Yes, I know there's only three of us, but still, it rounds out the podium and we all leave with silverware.
Well, Nims, I know the pedigree of your co-host behind the wheel, but tell me, how do you go around the racetrack? Have you done any laps of panorama, either in the driver's seat or passenger seat?
Well, look, it's funny that you mention it because I actually did a hot lap with young Thomas Randall at a ride day at Phillip Island just a couple of scant weeks ago. And all I can tell you is there's a reason that those guys drive supercars and TCR cars and TCM cars, and why I still drive a 2013 Toyota Camry. So that ought to give you an idea of the pedigree. But nonetheless, no, it was a lot of fun, and we're itching to go for a bit of motorsport.
Our guys here at FlowFM, across our Flow network, the family here, absolutely love their motor racing. We talk, of course, dirt circuit quite regularly. We talk plenty of local meets week to week. But this isn't just a supercars show, mate. This is for those who have petrol in their blood.
Oh, 100%. Now, and you mentioned, the local speedways that are littered around the country. I mean, Cameron Waters, the guy that finished second at Bathurst last year, actually spent all of his off-season back in his hometown of Mildura, jumping in the old Speedwagon and going around in a sprint car. He was literally spending his off-season. Remember, he drives full-time for a living, and he's just been one short of winning Bathurst last year, and he decides, what am I going to do for the off-season? You know what? I might just spend a lot of time in a sprint car. So these guys absolutely love it in their veins as well. And that's where it all starts too. It's go-karts, sprint cars, all that sort of stuff, and it leads possibly sometimes to the top step of Bathurst.
It does. Of course, supercars will be a big part of the show. And your co-hosts, let's talk about them, because these are guys who know they know these cars back to front, inside and out. Tell us about who you'll be working alongside through the driver's seat.
So depending on whether or not you're a Holden or a Ford fan, there are two big names in motorsport. Brock for Holden, Johnson when it comes to Ford. And Stephen Johnson, the son of the legendary Dick Johnson, doesn't drive too badly himself. He's a three-time TCM champion, that is a Touring Car Master champion. He almost could have gone for four in a row, but sadly a little thing called COVID killed all that dream last year. But nonetheless, he is a former Supercars winner. He's been on the Bathurst podium as well, and he still plies his trade around the country. In fact, I do believe you might be able to see him a little bit later on in the year at Tailem Bend when the Touring Car Masters head down there as part of the support category for the supercars. But let's not forget, everything isn't just supercars, because you've got so many other categories around Australia, like you mentioned, but you've got TCR racing. That's stuff like Renaults, Alfa Romeos, Hyundais even, but they're all part of that. Another one is Trans Am, where you've got the American muscle cars. That's where my other co-host, Matt McKeldin, gets really involved. You've got Ford Mustangs, Dodge Challengers, Camaros. These are real grunts. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can hear them when they had the Aussie Tin Tops at Tailem Bend. I'm pretty sure you could hear them in Adelaide. And you might have seen it last year at the Adelaide 500. They were part of the support category. Oh, man, it went off. But, yeah, they're back for another year. Plus, we got Formula One as well to cover. And Superbikes, that's going to be at Phillip Islands pretty soon. Basically, if it goes faster than something and it's on wheels, we've got it all covered.
Excellent. I'll send you the details of the Lawnmower Grand Prix down at Murray Bridge. You can cover that as well, Nims. I'll see if I can get some images for you. There's plenty of them going around. 410s are covered across the country, the sprint cars here on Flow FM. But now, before the sports show on a Saturday morning, 7 a.m, looking forward to this. The driver's seat's going to be fantastic. First show for us, we're taking you on February the 27th. What can we expect on the first show?
There is a lot to talk about in a very big off-season. First off, unfortunately for us, we don't have the Australian Grand Prix kicking off Formula One, so we've got to wait a little bit for that. We'll give you a big preview about what's coming up in the F1 season, because Daniel Ricciardo's in a brand new team. Can Lewis Hamilton make it a record and get 8 in a row? In the world of supercars, you've got Jamie Whincup's last season. I completely forgot to mention this, though. The biggest news in supercars, we're not starting at the Clipsal 500. I mean, what is going on there?
Oh, our friends in Adelaide have lost the plot. There are some very grumpy South Australians with the state government. We love the Bend, although at the moment they want to turn it into a quarantine site, apparently, but that's a topic for another day as well. But everyone loves the street circuit in Adelaide. They're furious, the South Australians.
It is absolutely world-class too. And you might have seen over the holidays, Todd Hazelwood, he's a proud South Australian. He now lives in Melbourne racing for Brad Jones Racing. He had a breakthrough year last year with a maiden pole position and a first podium. He was a 2018 Super Champion. Now, for those that don't know what the Super 2 is, that's basically the Sandful of supercars.
I like it.
And so let's just say he was basically Norwood back in 2018. And he graduated in 2019. Now he's into his fourth season with Brad Jones Racing. He's doing some absolute great stuff. Nick Percat, he's been very vocal. I don't want to get too political, but he's been having a lot of shots at Premier Stephen Marshall. And Stephen Marshall's having a couple of shots back at Nick's grammar. But this is why you don't argue on Twitter, folks.
It's a typical Twitter fight. When you're arguing about grammar, you've got nothing, Marshall. You've got absolutely nothing.
Exactly. But look, we got to put it out there. I mean, the Bend Motorsport Park is a fantastic. It's a world-class facility. Very lucky to have it in South Australia. It's also one of the best Hungry Jacks, just between you and me, Jace. Well, I can tell you right now, it is top-notch. But yeah, look, there is just so much stuff to talk about. And yes, Steve also does love his whoppers, and he'll even go through a Hunger Tamers box quicker than you could do a hot lap with him. So there's lots to talk about on the driver's set this week. But look, as you sort of said, it all starts locally too. So reach out to us on the Driver's Seat Facebook page if you've got a sprint car event that's happening and you'd like a bit of publicity, because let's face it, we all started getting our backsides trackside and watching a bit of fuel-burning, mud-churning action at the local sprint cars. So reach out to us on Facebook. Might even get you on the show too, because we'd love listening to grassroots stuff. Get it to us on Facey. Slide into our DMs, as the kids would say, and maybe we can give you a bit of publicity.
It's a beautiful thing, the driver's seat. Saturday, the 27th of February from 7 a.m, just before the sports show on a Saturday morning replay. Looking forward to it, Nims. Can't wait to catch up with you throughout the season as well. There's going to be plenty to talk about, and can't wait for the kickoff. Mount Panorama, what a way to start.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Look, I guess if we can't have the Clipsal 500 starting off the season at Bathurst, can't be that bad.
Exactly right. Good on you, Nims. Thanks for joining us here on the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.
No dramas, Joe. Thanks so much for having me, mate.